Good evening. Thank you for joining us. And at this point, I am also going to go live on Facebook.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
All right. And we are recording. Okay. Good evening. Welcome to our our book discussion for Rose Bilal and her new book. We're so excited about that. And before we get started, I'll tell you a little bit about Sula 2. Sula 2 is a publishing company, and we make old new in everything that we do. In that, we capture, preserve, and present legacy information in any form possible. We take all of your hard work, all of those life lessons, and we turn them into books, videos, legacy walls, and even live performances. And we bring this discussion to you. Um, Rose has done some wonderful things. Her life is so full, has been and continues to be, and that's what we will talk about tonight. Her book is also a part of a tiny book, as we call it. It is a part of a series where it may not necessarily tell everything in a person's life, but there are some things that we feel that people need to know. And that's what we gather and put into those books. And hers is a wonderful story that needs to be shared. And we're so excited to be able to bring it to you. And before we do, let's hear a little bit about or see and read a little bit about who Rose is and what has transpired up to this point. So I'm going to share my screen. And you all make sure that it plays.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're back. One of the things I really um, want to talk about tonight, Rose, is one of the reasons that I truly wanted you to tell your story is because a lot of us have had people in our lives that have gone through what you've gone through, but we had no idea what it was really like
Oh wow.
and how we can help and how important that help is. And you told the story. So introduce yourself, say hello, and tell us
Hello.
why you
How are
wanted to
you?
tell the story.
Thank everybody for being here. I am Rose Bilal, and I am so honored that you took the time to read my story and that I had the opportunity to tell it.
And why did you decide to tell it?
Well, I was kind of inspired by one of the members of my church who said that I needed to tell it
And how do you feel about the
because,
fact that you've done it?
because my story might be able to help someone else, and that inspired me to tell the story if it's something that might be able to help someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So I was inspired to write it, and then I enjoyed doing it as I was doing it because it helped me also.
It helped you too?
Yes,
How so?
because it made me remember why I should be grateful for everything.
Yeah. And tell
And
us a
how
little,
I came from
say that again.
and how far, my journey has brought me.
Tell us a little bit about um, some of the things that are in the book. Not everything, but just tell us a little bit about what's in that book.
Well, it's realizing what a stroke can do to you and how it can come up without any warning or anything. And I had no feeling about it. I didn't feel sick or anything. It was such a surprise. It caught me off guard.
Yeah. So,
Kind of talk about how it took me a while to come to the realization that this was for real.
now actually you mentioned the part that I opened the book and said that if I had to read something, this would be the part that I would read. So I'm going to read basically what you just said.
Okay.
And it's under the chapter called I'm Blessed.
Yes.
There are no guarantees you'll live to see another second, minute, or day.
Right.
I know how easy life can slip away without you feeling a thing or being given a warning. It's a precious gift to be cherished and taken care of.
Yeah.
Although I still have stroke related physical act okay, although I have stroke related physical aches and pains in my left arm and hand, I feel good in ways I had not considered before.
Right.
I get a good feeling looking at a beautiful sunrise, not to
Mm-hmm.
mention the fact that I'm still here to see it.
That's right.
Watching the splendor of a sunrise also helps to confirm my belief in God. No power on earth can make the sun rise or set. No human being can make it rain or stop raining.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
thought
right.
those words were profound.
Yes.
So, what are some of the pleasures in life that you get to experience now that you're paying attention?
Just about everything now that I'm paying attention.
Yeah.
Even the a breeze on a leaf on a tree, watching the leaf move and the breeze, making the leaf move and the
Yeah.
power behind that. That I never thought about those things before.
Hmm.
It was just something that happened.
So, what do you want us to know, Rose? Talk to us. I mean, what about this book was important to you?
Well, basically that there is a God, a presence in all of us, and the power of prayer and belief and understanding.
And how do you cope with the differences in your life?
By being thankful and grateful that I have a life, even with the differences.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So,
Because
go ahead.
because I, think of the people that's not here anymore.
Mm-hmm.
At least I'm still here and I'm still able to enjoy my life.
And how important are the people around you throughout this process in general?
Oh, very important. My family and my friends, and especially my husband.
How so?
Because they were there for me when I needed them to be there for me. And they continue to be.
Now, are there any surprises in that respect with family and friends?
Well, not really surprises. It's just having to understand that some people are not able to deal with illness. They don't know how to deal with you being different than what you used to be.
So do
And,
people, go ahead.
they think that they can't relate to you in the way that they used to, so they don't know what to do.
So what do they do?
Well, they kind of stay away a little bit.
Or I should say, the question I really meant to ask is, what should they do?
Well, I think they should do what they feel comfortable doing. Because I mean, just like they're not walking in my shoes, I'm not walking in theirs either. So I can't say that they should do certain things.
One of the things that I found fascinating, my uncle told me what it was like to have a stroke. His was different than yours. He was in a field by himself,
Wow.
and he had the stroke. He was on the ground, and he couldn't move.
Wow.
Couldn't move a bit, but his
Wow.
mind was totally active.
Mm-hmm.
And so he stayed there until I guess it somehow relieved it, or some, I don't remember how he got out of that field, but he did. And he was able to tell me about it. So he recovered, but that had to be an incredibly frightening thing. Now, your experience was a little bit different than that, correct?
Correct.
And how what are the surprises that you found?
Well, that I had no feeling about anything. I would think that something like that would at least, have given me a headache or maybe feel nauseous or something.
Can
But
you
I didn't have any symptoms that I knew of anyway.
hmm.
I wasn't feeling anything.
Did but obviously something was happening. So
Yes,
someone around you realized that something was going on, correct?
right. Yeah, Chico did.
Yeah. So in other words, when I asked about people being important, someone watching you or seeing or being in your presence and watching how things are different from their perspective,
Right,
need to
right.
trust their own intuition and judgment when it comes
Yeah,
to being
yes,
around people that you care about. See what's going on that's different with them.
right.
Yeah.
And to do something about it.
And that's the key, to do
Yeah,
something about it. And I think that's what's so tragic about what's going on right now. We're in the time frame of COVID, and family members can't be around their family members because it's so important, from my experience, that when family members are in the hospital with their loved ones, that makes a difference in the level of care.
it
So
does.
now we bring that outside of the hospital at home. and it's equally as important.
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to do something that we found. Oh, it looks like there may be someone else that wants to join us.
Oh, wow.
Hold on.
Elaborate.
Hmm?
Oh,
Okay. Wow.
yeah. There's a good friend of yours that just joined, a good friend of mine too. Mr. Ralph Smith. Hi, Ralph.
Hey,
Oh,
hi
right.
everybody. How y'all doing?
How,
Good, good.
I'm sorry I'm running late. I was talking to my mother.
how you
Well,
doing?
that's, go ahead.
Thanks for
Praying
coming.
doing well.
And someone else joined us as well, Josephine.
Oh, Josephine, she did. She figured it out. Yeah.
All right, so what I was about to do is go down memory lane um, and play something that we found. Okay.
Am I able to see Josephine?
Well, that's her choice. I mean, she can unmute
You
herself.
see her
Hi,
eat.
Rose.
Hi, Josephine. You found out. But,
Yeah, I almost forgot about it.
okay. Well, I'm glad you remembered.
Yeah, you
All
look
right.
good.
Okay, so you all let me know if this is coming through once I play it. If it's not, let me know.
Josephine is my neighbor and friend.
Can you all see that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Never know how much I love you. Never know how much I care. When you put your arms around me, I get a fever that's so hard to bear. You give me fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight, fever in the morning, and fever all through the night. Bless my soul, how I love you. Take this heart away. Take these arms I'll never use, and just believe in what my lips have to say. You give me fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight. Ooh,
Will you see
fever in the
something?
morning, fever all through the night.
Okay, I'm having a little bit of an issue.
All through the night. Fever all through the night.
Okay. Well, we saw part of that. There is one more. Okay.
Rose, I just realized that was you.
Yeah.
You are
Oh,
the
wow.
of my life, yeah. That's why I'll always stay
Okay.
around.
Having a little bit of a technical issue.
You are the apple of my eye, yeah. Forever you stay in my heart.
So you all can hear her, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
I feel like this is the
Okay.
beginning.
All right, I'm gonna stop sharing right now because
And if I thought I loved.
okay, so gonna have to work on that just a little bit. But for those of you that did not see it, could not see it, then she's on YouTube. If you Google her, you can find her. She's out there. And one of the things that is amazing for me is to know that you still have a positive sense of life, and that is what I think needs to be shared. So, how do you feel about the two different lives that you have now?
Well, I miss not being able to drive and get around like I used to. But I've adjusted to what I can and cannot do.
Mm-hmm. And how do you make that adjustment?
By being grateful and thankful for what I can do, and not dwelling on what I cannot do.
Mm-hmm. So now I have a question of your friends. If you have read the book, I assume you got it by now. And if you've read anything from it, would you be willing to share your thoughts about it? And if so, unmute yourselves.
Well, I read it, and I'm just amazed how she had came through so much, and that she had so much talent, that God had blessed her with so much talent in her life, and she had really been through a lot to be where she are now. That's really it's
Yeah.
amazing, and that show you how God really watch over us and bless us and keep us,
Yes.
and give me inspiration to know that if you put your trust in God, that He will do the same for you. And so it really amazing about her life, really, from childhood all the way to now. A lot of people wouldn't be able to survive that. I don't think I would have.
Yes,
But
you would
anyway,
have.
she's a blessing. She's a blessing.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Josephine.
Mhm.
Anyone
Yeah.
else?
Yes, I would just like to say that the reading of the book left me uh, not surprised, because Mother is very strong. Mother Rose is what we call her. She's a very strong individual, and to be able to just uh, come right out front and tell it like it is, of her life, and regardless of who might hear, uh, whatever critics might be out there, she just, tells it like it is. And the blessings that she has received, even going through the ups and the downs in her life, she never gave up. And to me, that's the evidence of a very strong woman, even though she said that she really wasn't concerned about uh, religion or God, or, she was raised in the church. She knew the presence of the Lord in her life, and it was simply him having something for her that helped her to make it through. But she didn't realize until she came to this particular point in her life, having the stroke, that he has been there all the while. But she
Right.
was so busy looking at things around her, she failed to see that he was right there with her, even as she went through. So I look at Mother Rose and I see a very strong and proud woman. Proud in a sense that she does not allow her pride to get in her way.
Thank you.
Well, you know where my strength comes from.
Amen.
And thank you for supporting her and your words.
And thank
Now,
you for your
what I found interesting too, relative to what was said, is that there was a journey to get to where you are. I found it fascinating that you tried some of every religion out under the sun and
yes,
talked about that. But
yes. One of the reasons is because I couldn't understand, you know, how what's the difference between God for this religion and God for that religion? Which one? How come we have so many religions if there's one God?
mm,
So
that's
I
an
didn't
interesting
know God was
conversation.
different in one church or another. I wanted to see
Okay, anyone else?
Well, I just want to say,
I,
you know, I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to get the book. I thank you, Ursula, for the invite. When I saw the invite, yeah, and I know there's still a chance to do it. When I saw the invite, I was actually so surprised because Rose, back when you had the stroke, you know, that was really at the peak of your musical career. And,
Yes,
you know, I used to go and come to all your concerts
right.
and check it in. So when you had the stroke, it kind of removed you
Yeah.
basically from, you know, that whole career and from, you know, people's lives like myself, you know. So this is the first I've actually laid eyes on you since, you know, I saw you at a concert in St. Petersburg,
Right.
you know. I don't even remember how many years ago that was, but so, you know, but just to get the invitation just kind of sparked something in me to know, you know, in one sense, it's kind of like a death. And that is that when you miss somebody like this, it's like as if they had died. And so I'm really awesome, glad to get an opportunity to
But
come
God,
and
I
even
did.
though this is virtual, come and see you virtually and just let you know how much, you know, I'm going to say I have missed you.
Well,
Now, when
thank
it,
you, Ralph.
well, thank you.
And
And
I'm
when it
glad
comes,
to see that you're still around. And I hear you're still doing great things in the community.
well, I haven't changed much, that's for sure, except for, you know, of course, I have all gray and everything now. But, 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 you know, when it comes to religion, I've also had a journey similar to what you're talking about as far as looking at all the different various religions. Um,
Right.
and because you're right, I can't see how someone who might have been born on the other side of the world and had not gotten a chance, you know, like myself, to experience Christianity, then could be condemned to death. And I'll be honest with you, I don't believe it. And so I do believe that God does open a way, and that when Jesus said that he came to earth to save everybody, he actually meant that, and that is true, and that everybody will be saved. So anyway, that's
Yes. Yes. All you have to do is ask for it.
mhm.
I'm going to tell a little bit of a story, true life story that a childhood friend of mine told me, um, that sometimes God wants you to do something and he has to get your attention.
Yes.
And he got my friend's attention by having him be upside down in a burning truck.
Oh my goodness.
And he lived to tell the story, and he ended up being a pastor.
All right.
So, Rose, what's
Yes.
your mission now?
Well, it's not to preach. I know that's not my calling. Well, not as a pastor anyway.
Well, I did see at your church you gave a wonderful presentation of Harriet Tubman.
Yeah,
So,
well,
are you still going
probably
to be doing
close
that?
to preaching.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
That's probably as close as I will get to preaching.
Okay. All right. Any other comments from anyone else? And Chico, I would like you to talk. Oh, Victoria.
I just want to say, although she might not seem like she can sing like she used to, she still sings very well.
Does she?
Yes.
Busted.
Yeah, thank you, Vicki.
and I can attest to that because I always told her, I said, come on, mother, I know you got a song in your heart that you want to sing. No, my voice not strong yet. And then one day she just burst out with a song and I go, there she is.
Oh,
I didn't get a chance to meet her before the stroke. And after hearing about it from Deacon Arenas, we were always in prayer, just hoping and praying that she would get better and join us in the ministry. And when she came, it was just, thank you, thank you, thank you, because it was like an extension of me. She was like a mother to me.
you know, even though we're not that far apart in age, but even though it's like a big sister, mother, auntie, you know, and we are close right now. You know, sometimes you don't talk to people every day, but you know the people that are close to you and close in your heart. And I feel her and Deacon Arenas, they're like a sister
Well, thank you, Cookie.
to us. It's more than just a ministry that we
Okay, we're breaking up a little bit now.
Yeah.
have together. Happy that they're both with us. And I'm waiting
Okay, so you're breaking up a little bit, and when you
for the next book. And it doesn't
Okay.
have to be about the whole life. Looks like Zoom wants to go crazy again.
well, it'll settle down in a minute, I'm sure. So we'll come back to you. And when it settles down, you can continue. But I wanted to ask Rose if Chico could come on screen too.
I'm over here, honey. You put your head right here.
Yeah, let's see.
Okay, there you go. All right, talk to us. You're part of this journey. You've been her rock from what I could tell. And look, the smile even got bigger. So
Well,
introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your part of the story.
okay. Well, my name is Albert Quintero Arenas, and one of my childhood friends called me Chico, and they call me that moniker because of my brothers. I have my second oldest brother we call Chico at home, but there were 5 of us boys in my household, and so our neighbors would confuse us. So they just started calling all of us Chico. And that kind of stuck with every one of us, and mainly my second brother and myself. But Rose and I made acquaintance years ago in the 80s through musical venues. And some groups I would back her up as a side man, just one of the side guys, you know. The side guys get no glory, you just have to make the story. But being a side man, Rose was always friendly, very gregarious for a lady. You know, she just has this personality that's bursting like a sunburst, and so everybody just loved Rose. And you know, it took me a minute because I thought some of it was pretentious until I really got to know her and found out this is who she is. You know, she's this bubbling personality. And so when I met Rose, I was married at the time. So there was never anything but, I was playing that in the 80s at the Blue Ship and all.
Oh, okay.
But you know, we were just friends and musical acquaintances. And then later I got a divorce, and with my divorce, I swore never to marry again because it was a handicap to my wanting to venture further into music. And I had bad luck for marriage, so I won't do that again. And really, I hadn't settled down as a human being. I was still being a savage beast. So I lost my first wife, being a scoundrel.
Yeah.
But playing music again, reacquainted with Rose, and you know, we started talking, we became friends, and one thing led to another, and we became more than friends. And and in that relationship, I found her to be not only a gregarious, jubilant, loving person. I found her to have a natural kindred spirit about her. And, you know, I've always told her that church didn't make her,
God chose her because, there are many people who go to church and it's only a habit of a repetitive habit and a social accounting of their physical interaction with other people. And it's not really a way of life. But, Rose had a natural way of being close to what Jesus Christ expects us to live and love each other, and that was very, very admirable, and it attracted me more to her. And so, like I said, one thing led to another, and we became friends, and more than friends. And then later, we moved in together. We wanted to economize, make our dollars work. And during that time, we got to know each other more, our personalities and our spiritual aspects towards life, and what we wanted to do and how we wanted our lives to evolve around music, civility with our environment and neighbors. And, we just had forgotten about church. And now our pastor, who's one of the people in this group, was my pastor first. I had gone to high school with the Reverend Dunbar and knew him. I knew his character and personality. So when he returned to Florida and asked me to come to his church, I knew that he was a person I could trust to not just use the Bible as a weapon or as an extortion tool or as something to hide behind. I knew that he, being who he was sincere in his ministry. So I started attending that church. And then right about that time, Rose had her stroke. And it's strange, like they say that God works in mysterious ways. Well, I'm here to witness that because I'm a person who's obliged to do what I promised to do. And I had a part-time job at that time. And I've never missed a day's work. And I'm never late because I don't believe in being late or missing work unless something of grave importance comes up. So this particular day, I thought I didn't have to work. In my mind, I was off. And when I showered and came back in the room, Rose just didn't look right. So with my experience and with people in medicine in my family, and I've been told what the signs of strokes are. So I asked Rose to do two things. I asked her to raise both her arms, and she was a little annoyed because she wanted to get about her day. So I asked her to raise her arms. She raised one arm. So I asked her to raise both arms. She said, I am raising both arms. I said, well, okay. I said, well, stick your tongue out. And when she stuck her tongue out, it went straight down. I said, stick your tongue out at me. She said, I am. So I dialed 911. And fortunately, the EMTs got her to Tampa General in time. And another mysterious thing happened. The doctor who was their main cardio and doctor neurosurgeon, he was a cardio neurosurgeon.
Oh, I know what you're about to say. Don't say that.
Don't say that?
Don't say that.
But that's one of them.
Let them read about that in the book.
Good, okay. But God.
Don't tell it. Well, don't tell it. Don't tell it.
Gotta read it.
Stop it, Rose.
Just can't tell it all.
But everything just is wonderful how, Rose is not 100%, but she's 98 and a half.
And what's really wonderful for me is knowing the story of your being together and the fact that you stepped up and did the things you did. That is absolutely amazing. And obviously by choice, which is also amazing. and how blessed Rose is
Yes.
to have you. From what I can see,
Oh, yes.
you can have each other, and I'm gonna just say it like I feel it. Um, Chico is the one person that has all of Rose's memory in his head. He still sees everything from beginning to end. You know, the gregarious person and the person he's caring for today is all one from what I can see. And I think that's a wonderful thing for you to have in your life. Someone that sees you complete,
Yes.
both the complete before and the complete
Yeah.
after. You know,
That's true.
amazing.
Yes.
All right. Does anyone else have anything else they'd like to say? Because I know with
I
the
would
past.
like to from
Go
Dr.
ahead.
Joe, from Joanne, if she's still there.
She is. Joanne, you would have to unmute yourself if you'd like to speak. Okay, so Joanne is choosing not to do that right now.
All right.
You all have to talk when you get done.
Dr.
Okay.
Dr. Joanne is the one that she does the acupuncture for me. She's my acupuncture doctor.
Ah, okay. So shout out to Dr. Joanne.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so at this point, if anyone would also like to purchase additional books, there are a
Yes.
couple of ways. Okay, so I understand that Rose has a PayPal account that you can go direct to. PayPal me/lifesong542. And I have to tell you, that was a new thing for me. I didn't realize that worked. But you type that in and it goes straight to your account where you can almost, I kind of like send her cash. And the book is $12. Shipping is $150, so $13.50 is what you would send to her. Now you can buy multiple books and give them to friends, getting close to Christmas. So multiple orders are just fine. And also, if you'd like to go to Sula 2 and find out more about additional books, including hers, that are available from Sula 2 Publishing, you can go to sula2.com and click on Order Books, or use the bit.ly link. That's bit.ly/2QHWO8D. Now, I'd like to also offer to those of you that are listening, there's something that Sula 2 is going to be doing that I would like to invite you to. You know, some people say that you should write your obituary before anything happens. Well, I say, don't do that. Why don't you write your forever story? And we're going to have a time where several of us will get together virtually and write forever stories. And you'll find out what that's all about, why it's important, and what you can do with it. So if you'd like to be a part of that, go to sula2.com and give me your information, or you can text it to 813-368-1628. That's telling your forever story. And the clue to that is, what do you really want people to know? What are you really proud of? And how should you craft that?
Can you paste any of this information in the chat and we can pull it straight up?
Okay, sure, will do. And while I'm doing that, Rose, if you'd like to give some closing remarks, or anyone, feel free.
Well, I'm just excited about this whole journey with the book being published, and with all of you who took the time to buy it and read it. And I'm grateful for all of you as friends and people were a part of my life. And Ralph, I had no idea you came to all the concerts.
Yeah, we were sure.
But I'm glad. I thank you for your support.
We missed you.
And I hope if anyone has a book, she says there's a book in everyone. I hope that you all will use Sula too for your publishing.
Thank you. I've enjoyed this with you. I have.
Thank you.
Just makes
Okay.
me want to write my book.
All right. Just send
But,
your information.
I would ask if you could send out the information you spoke about, the write your story. If you could text that or email it.
Okay.
It was kind of hard to hear.
All right. I will send it out to everyone that's attending here.
Okay.
And also, if you go to my website, sula2.com, you can communicate with me as well through Contact Us. Sula2.com.
And that's
my next question is, will we be able to view the video?
Yes, yes, you will be. We're going to put it under the author spotlight on our YouTube channel. And to find that YouTube channel, you type in Sula space 2 TOO, and you'll see the playlist under Sula 2. And she will be in the next couple of days or so under the author's playlist.
all right.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So with that being said, thanks everyone for joining us. This has been wonderful. Rose, congratulations. For everyone, buy a book, share a book.
Stay safe.
And stay safe.
And don't forget to wear your mask.
See, she's out there thinking about other people
right
now.
You.
There you go.
Bye, everybody.
And let me know when your books are published.
Okay.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you, Ursula.
Thank you.